And here
we
are. Green flag out, episode 64 of the Illiana Stock Car Radio.
Full Dean Patterson.
Full Dean Patterson level.
Who was in charge of booking guests? Somebody dropped the ball on that count.
Well, it may be in more than one, sense of the word, but it is the 2021 debut of the Illiana Stock Car Radio. If you don't know us by now, well, you should. Jeremy Banning here, your host, and with me again this season, owner-operator of Goodacre Photography and now Goodacre Designs, Mr. Chris Goodacre. Chris, welcome to the debut of the show for the year.
Yep, I'm excited. I'm ready. I've been waiting. I've been blowing your phone up asking what the plan was for this year.
Yeah,
which I think we're going to talk about here. Just not to stall and kill time and wait patiently for our guest to compose himself.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the deal. So we lined up two guests. If you saw our posts, we've got a promoter of the South Bend Motor Speedway and the Plymouth Speedway, and he's living it up California Hollywood style this week. So waiting for him to get back from all his obligations out there, and then we got obligations, and then we've got a Mr. Wanted Man, Paul Shafer Jr. He's so
laying low.
Yes, he is laying low. He's MIA right now, so he will be in momentarily. We hope. So, just kind of briefly talk about our plans for this year. Like Chris said, he's kind of blowing my phone up about it, and I know we didn't put a whole lot out there about the plan. So here's kind of where we're at. So if you've seen any of my posts, my wife and I, we got a camper for the year, right? So I got a lot of camping trips planned. With COVID and everything last year, life pretty much got put on hold for a year for just about everybody else. So there's a lot of stuff to do this year, a lot of catching up to do. So we're working on doing that. My work is extremely busy, and it's hard to find the time to plan the shows as well. Kind of the time I've been putting aside to plan the shows, it's just not there right now. And still got S4 Motorsports obligations. Chris, you're editing photos for 2-3 different tracks, along with the design stuff you've got going on. So there's a lot going on, on the day-to-day side that, sitting down and planning these shows weekly is just, it's a pain and hard to fit it into the schedule. So what we wanted to do is we still wanted to give you guys some good quality entertainment this year. So we're going to focus on monthly episodes, bring in some good guests, and give you guys the best shows that we can going forward this year. So really looking forward to what we've got going on, and we will. I see him here. He's already throwing back some wine or some cocktail or something out there in sunny SoCal. So tonight we have, like I said, Paul Shafer Jr., Mr. 3 in a row, Wanted Man,
3 in a row,
late model feature dominator so far this year. He'll be coming up hopefully shortly, and then promoter of South Bend Motor Speedway, now the Plymouth Speedway, Mr. Tony Eldridge. So we will bring Tony into our local racing spotlight presented by S4 Motorsports Marketing. You can find S4 Motorsports on Facebook and Instagram to see how they can get your small business's message out front with on and off track marketing. Let's bring in the man right now.
Well, he totally doesn't look like he's on vacation.
Yeah, he does not look like he is on vacation there at all. Soaking in the sun. What's going on, Tony?
Sunny skies here in California. It's been a great trip, much needed. Been an exciting winter. So, how are you guys doing?
Man, doing pretty good. Definitely not as good as you are living it up out there on vacation, man.
I got to send a shout out to the Water's Edge Winery here in beautiful Long Beach. Just got here, going to try some sangria. So, definitely a great time.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I kind of snuck up on you a little bit this last Saturday at the Plymouth Speedway and kind of ambushed you about being on the show, man. Didn't know you were going on vacation.
Yeah, it was cool. I walked out of Kenny Wallace's car and saw you and Shiloh there, which is awesome to see you guys supporting Plymouth Motor Speedway. Man, what an exciting show that was down there. Kenny Wallace in the house. Kenny Schrader was also there. 31 modified strong for the Cometic Clash. What an exciting race. Those guys put on a whale show there in the last few laps. It was, man, a nail biter.
Yeah, just about that entire feature. You had Marshall and Spalding and Kenny Wallace there kind of going nose to nose. You didn't really know maybe who was going to come out on the positive end of it. Definitely thought we were going to see what Spalding would do for $5,000 there at the end.
I tell you what, Kurt is a stand-up guy. He and Frank have raced each other quite a bit up at the Hartford Motor Speedway. Shout out to them. They have opening night, shamelessplug.com, opening night at the Hartford Motor Speedway this Friday night. So check them out. They do a lot for us at South Bend and Plymouth. So definitely head up there. But Frank and Kurt race up there on the regular and have a lot of respect for each other. And, of course, Kenny Wallace is a stand-up guy. And so, they were put on a show. And I knew Kurt wouldn't do anything too crazy driving the DT Products Chris Terry-owned machine. But he got under Frank a few times. And, man, the crowd went nuts down there, Jeremy.
Yeah, exactly. I was on pins and needles too, because you just maybe saw something brewing. You just wondered what was going to happen. It was definitely a good show there towards the end, and I think Kenny Wallace made the show better. That on the front straightaway after the race, he just grabbed the mic and did the post-race interviews himself.
Yeah, totally not planned. Our announcer, Scott Stein, went down there to do the post-race interviews, and Kenny just kind of took the mic from him and stole the show, which was great. The crowd loved it. He did his own interview. He talked about what a great race it was, talked about how great the track was, and made it really exciting for the fans. So the folks who came out to support the track and see Kenny Wallace definitely got a bang for their buck at the Plymouth Motor Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of a fun fact that he let slip that the entire top three was over the age of 50.
Yeah, so it was definitely pretty. Another fun fact, he was pretty geeked up that his wife, Kim Poole Wallace, came with him. He was pretty excited that Kim on the property should travel a whole lot with him, and so Kim there was definitely exciting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I could tell by a lot of his social media posts. He was happy to have her there. I know a lot of people ate up all those wreaths she was selling. So
skipping ahead in some of your notes here, I know one of your $1 million questions is the partnership with the Plymouth Motor Speedway and how that came about. So honestly, Kevin called me one day and said, hey, I've been talking with Ed and I'm thinking about leasing and purchasing the Plymouth Motor Speedway. And I told him he was nuts, that we don't know enough about dirt track racing, and that maybe this was a great idea. And he was like, oh, great, so you're in. I was like, yeah, I'm in, man.
Well, of course.
Yeah, it sounds like Kevin.
We started to have some meetings, and I tell you, Sarah Tarleton, which is my co-promoter and race director down there, she is amazing, does a great job. And so I've worked with her a lot back in the old Haas Sprint days. And so I've known her a long time. Their announcer, Scott Stein, and I grew up together. Their inspector, tech inspector, which is Stephen Woods. Also, I've seen him race a bunch. So I knew a lot about these guys, and so it was great to step in and work. We have a great team of people down there. And the question on everybody's mind is, and we'll just get it out of the way early, there's no plans to go back to asphalt racing in Plymouth, Indiana. It's been, I've been asked more times than I can count. Plymouth is and will be a dirt track. Kevin's goal is to make it one of the premier dirt tracks in Indiana. We have taken South Bend Motor Speedway to the next level, put together a great team in South Bend, and so we want to do the same thing down at Plymouth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that kind of brings up another question is, now that the efforts are being split between two tracks, obviously you don't want to see either track, kind of slip or, fall behind, or, kind of spreading the resources too thin. Kind of what can you say about the plan to, divide and conquer, operations of both tracks?
So I tell you, hands down, I believe the staff that we have at Plymouth Motor Speedway or South Bend Motor Speedway is the best in the business. We have a great team. We're more like family. Everybody there has worked for us for a really long time. And so I am going back and forth between Plymouth and South Bend to help build the team at Plymouth. We want to have them be like family, being led by Sarah and myself down there. And so it's been challenging. I won't lie. Like, it's a little different. Past Saturday, we had weather-related issues at both places. So talking with Lisa in person at South Bend, having Sarah call from Plymouth, and just trying to figure out what are we going to do? Like, what's our plan if rain comes in? Not being at one track was a little tough, but we really have a great personnel and great staff that come together and we do as a team. So for South Bend, everything will continue on the same way, still promoting, overseeing everything there with Lisa Hartz, is a wonderful race director, does a great job. She's got a great team supporting her there. They have follow-up questions I've been able to answer over the phone, and then same with Plymouth. Sarah will call and be like, hey, I don't know what to do with this, and we talk about it. So things will continue the same at both speedways. A little different going back and forth, but so far we're making it work. Our car counts have been great, and our fan count has been huge. I mean, we had Kenny Esmont Memorial at South Bend on Saturday night. Kenny was a huge part of short track racing, and Doug Fox is best friend, so I know it was an emotional night for my flagman. But the team worked together to make it work. You know, Ryan stepped into flag race to give Doug a break, and so it's working. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. When you have a great team like we do at both facilities, you know, as a promoter, I can step away and I can feel confident things are still going to be amazing because we have amazing people.
Yeah, it's usually, you know, definitely people that make these things work. And I tell you, what's it been like for you getting used to the dirt world, man?
You know, they use a lot of terms on dirt that I just sorry about that, Ryan Powell, my tech guy, calling it. He uses a lot of terms on dirt that I just don't know. So sliders and how wet the track is, we're gonna go wheel back, and so it's been a lot to learn. But Sarah has done a great job helping along. Ira Saunders has been there, and he answers questions I have them. Chase Bites does some of our track prep with Garrett Saunders. So these guys are teaching me what I don't know and trying to explain things so I can understand it. It's just a lot to take in on asphalt. You know, it rains, we drive the track. On dirt, you get a little moisture, you got to wheel pack, you got to regrind, you got to do all these things to the track that I'm just not used to.
Yeah, and then you know, take into account, you know, getting flung with mud, you know, when you're you know, when you're out there too, you know.
Right. Yes, I mean, like I said, everybody is really teaching me, and it's been fun to learn. Like, I've gone to a ton of dirt races. I've announced for Tony Izzo up at LaSalle multiple times. So I have some experience, but to actually be on the other side of the fence and be part of the decision-making team and figure out what needs to be done it's been a learning curve, but one that, you know, Kevin Sauer says it best: we don't like to fail. We like to be the best in the business. And so that's our – we'll just continue to work as a team, develop an awesome team, and be the best dirt short track around.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, you have a great foundation to start with over there at the Plymouth Speedway, and definitely look forward to seeing what goes on over there. But, you know, mentioned, you know, when I talked to you Saturday night, that Kenny Esmont Memorial Street Stock event, man, went green flag the entire way. Chris and I were talking to about it right
I'm
before
still not sure how that happened.
Yeah, man. Props to those guys, right?
I did what I was watching on Race Monitor in the tower at Plymouth. Super nervous about that race. Like I said, Kenny was a stand-up guy. His mom and his longtime girlfriend were there, all of his friends. And when you put $1,290 on the line, lap money, bonus money, I mean, the winner probably walked out of there with $1,500 or so for a street stock, which is pretty phenomenal. We figured, you know, we might tear up some cars. So Doug talked to the drivers and said, hey, this is for Big Kenny. Let's just use our heads. I'm watching Race Monitor, and I'm like, holy smokes, this thing has not had a caution yet. And at the end of the night, they went clean and green for 30 laps for that kind of money. That speaks volumes for the street stock drivers we have at the South Bend Motor Speedway. 34 street stocks on the property. First of all, even to make the A feature was a feat in its own. I mean, there was times where we had, I think, 7 or 8 cars, 13 O's, which is just insane. And then half the B feature are A feature cars that just, you know, there are so many cars. So the quality of cars we had, the talent we had, congratulations, of course, to Austin Woodcox, picked up the win. I know it was a really emotional win for him. He had raced with Kenny before, shared some pictures of him in the hot chute with Kenny in front of him. So it's just neat to see a guy that actually personal ties to Kenny Esmont pick up that win.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome to see that stuff. But now they set a precedent that now they prove that they can do it.
Yes, and that's the thing. And so we got rained out 5 features on last Saturday. So we've got a lot of racing to do this Saturday. And we're going to remind the guys Saturday the same thing. Remember what we talked about last week? The Street Stock B feature still pays $590 to win. Put that in perspective for you. On a Saturday night, the Street Stock A normally pays $400 to win. This B, the makeup B on Saturday, is going to be $590. The C is going to be $290 to win. So we'll have the same talk with the guys and let them know, like, the A set the precedent. We need you guys to continue, but we've got 5 makeup features. The VROA mods, which is the Vintage Racers of America, are in town this week. And then talk to Kevin Byrne and Lisa today. We'll run all of our heat races and all of our features. So you're basically going to get almost 2 shows for the price of 1 on Saturday night at the South Bend Motor Speedway.
Yeah, lots of racing action, a lot of bang for your buck, which is awesome to see. So make sure everybody gets out there. Definitely a lot of cool events coming up at both tracks, right, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, Plymouth Saturday night, we've got the modifieds back in action. Thunder stocks, the non-wing 600s, and the front-wheel drive. Going to be a great show down there. Our modified car count has been awesome and has seen a lot of great racing. So both tracks, I've been advertising on Facebook. I don't care where you go. You want to go to Galesburg, Kalamazoo, wherever you want to go, just support Grundy, support your local short tracks, and get out there, get your backsides trackside, and have a good time. With COVID, we've all been locked up and restricted, and now we're ready out there. So we need your support now more than ever. Make up for what 2020 was, what it did to all the short tracks. So wherever you go, just go out, support some short tracks, and have a good time. Post on Facebook the great things you saw, and move on.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of having good times and kind of being unrestricted, man, we're going to let you go. Enjoy your vacation and enjoy the wine out there, man.
One more shout out I got to give.
Absolutely.
Okay? And this is for my good friend Chris Baker. If you guys don't know, Chris drives every Sunday that I have mini wedges. Chris is on hand on Sundays to photograph all mini wedges, and then he gives all of those pictures for free to the parents and families that come out on Sundays. And I honestly can't thank Goodacre Photography enough for that. I know that the kids, it means a ton to them. And also, if you haven't been to a mini wedge this Sunday down at Plymouth Motor Speedway, Chris will tell you you're missing out. We have almost 40 mini wedges on the property on Sunday at South Bend. These kids put on a show, 2 and 3 wide passing. It is the neatest thing I probably ever did. We had autograph night Sunday at South Bend, and the parents came out, and all the fans got the little kids' autographs. And how cool was it, Chris, to see all those people on the front stretch?
Oh, God.
It was the neatest thing you're ever going to see. So if you haven't been to a Sunday show, you need to come see it for yourself. It is amazing. And, Chris, I really can't thank you and Goodacre Photography enough for what you do for us.
Oh, I'm happy to do it. It's, that's the future of racing right there. If we don't hook them when they're young, and this is a terrible way to phrase it, but if we don't get them in when they're young, we don't have them, when they grow up to drive the big cars.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. So if you're out there and you want to, get your kids involved in racing, definitely a good way to do that, man. I'll get hooked up with the folks out South Bend Motor Speedway or Plymouth Speedway, and maybe they can get you and your kids hooked up.
Absolutely. And thank you guys again for having us, and thanks to the Water's Edge Winery here in Long Beach. Best sangria I've ever tasted. Not going to lie, I'm going to indulge in some more of this before I head back.
Well, we are going to let you have at it, man. Enjoy, maybe have a drink for us, and then we'll be catching you down the road, man.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Tony. That was Tony Eldridge, promoter at South Bend Motor Speedway and co-promoter there at the Plymouth Speedway. Well, we found him. We have found him. He's a wanted man, but we have found him.
From an undisclosed location somewhere out in the desert, kind of like Alice Cooper is.
Yeah, something like that. From parts unknown, we've dragging him out. Paul Shafer Jr. Paul, welcome to the show, man. Good to see you're alive.
Yeah, and I'm alive. My phone was dead for a while there, so I was like, I don't know if I was gonna make it or not. But I checked and I'm like, oh, gotta go.
There you go. Well, at least it worked out,
Yeah.
Definitely stalled long enough to get you out here, man. So, dude, you are like setting the world on fire, man.
Not just the world.
Yeah. Cars have been pretty good this year. Yeah. Stuff's been really, really good at Grundy, and like I say, our cars have been spot on and everything. It's just been going good. We've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, so 2020 Grundy County Late Model Champ, man. Thought that was good. End of the year off strong. Had a good year out there. Figure, one of those deals, how can you come out and top it? How can you, have a better season than what you did last year? Well, coming out winning the first 3 features, definitely a way to do it, man. And you've pretty much, I think, won them just about every which way you can.
Yeah. The first 2 weeks were pretty close. Like I say, I didn't think I was going to get either one, to be honest with you. And then, like I say, right at the end, it just kind of fell our way. So, like I said, last week the car was really good, and we were able to make some moves on the outside, which is kind of cool. And most of the time doesn't happen. So, like I say, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. To kind of talk about getting to use that outside groove. I watched Emmett's video back of the feature race, and like you said, man, you got that top side rolling pretty good there. I can definitely think the tires and maybe the added grip from the new asphalt helped out there, huh?
Yeah, the new asphalt's definitely put grip up there. Like I say, you could run up there. I don't know. I mean, our cars are pretty good, so like I say, we're able to make some moves up there. But even still, like at a tour race or a big race, I think both lanes are going to be pretty much even. Like I say, there's going to be a lot of good racing all year, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, we mentioned, kind of won them your 3 just about every which way you can. Opening night, man, last lap pass on Ricky Baker with things smoking, blowing up. Man, what was that like? And I mean, what was going on with that motor there at the end?
Well, there was 2 to go, and there was a red flag. I think Finacci caught on fire and was down in the infield or something like that. And then, like say, we shut the car off, and it didn't sound right. Fired it back up, and it was smoking. And I'm like, something's wrong. But like I say, it's got oil pressure, or not a lot, but enough. It had like 20, 30 pounds. It should have about 60. So we're like, do we run it? So we asked my dad, and he said, go ahead and run it. So like I say, it started blowing oil out of the timing cover and out of the oil pan. And like I say, it got all over the headers, caught on fire, and it wasn't too big a fire, so they had to keep racing it.
Yeah, I noticed in the videos you were crossing the finish line there at the checker that the
little glowing underneath.
Yeah, a little glow under that right front corner of the car there, man. And then the following week,
Chris has got a couple pictures.
Yeah, well, I would be disappointed in him if he didn't have any pictures of it, to be honest with you.
Right.
I'm more mad at myself that I missed the front half of Vinacci catching fire. I was halfway to victory lane because somebody here is trying to make a show of it, and turn around. Oh, there's a car on fire out in turn 4.
And then you come up next week after that, man. Last lap pass on the legend Larry Schuler, man. Talk about that one.
Yeah, my Chrissy told me on the radio. He's like, I was really pulling for Larry over you, so he skipped the picture, and he skipped the picture on the front stretch, and like I say, he's I'm sure everybody else is pulling for Larry. Being back in a race car, and like I say, being who he is. So, like I say, it sucks to beat him, but it's good to beat him at the same time. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely one of those guys that you definitely kind of root for, but at the same time, you're on track to win, man. So you want to beat him and take home the trophy, take home the money, and all that good stuff.
Yep, for sure.
And then you kind of mentioned it a little bit ago. This last past weekend, you got the lead, say early, mid part of the race, and held off Ricky Baker on the last race restart. I'd say probably the least eventful of 3, maybe the most normal for you. I didn't make it as interesting as maybe the first couple of weeks, but definitely car looked like it was still handling pretty good.
Yep, car was still on a rail, and like I say, it was pretty good. And I was a little bit worried about Baker there at the end. 5 to go. You never know what kind of things he's going to do. You know what I mean? He's liable to get you moved up a little bit and try to make something happen. Like I say, he's a pretty good wheelman, so he knows how to do it and do it right. So, like I say, we were able to get away from him a little bit and get another one.
Yeah, so now with all that success this year, Grundy's decided to toss the bounty on you this week. So last I saw, numbers-wise, to win the feature is $1,650. So that seems to be changing like by the hour almost at this point. Everybody's throwing money for somebody to beat you, which has got to be kind of a, for an ego thing. It's got to kind of feel pretty good in a way that everybody's gunning for you, but at the same time, everybody's gunning for you. So how do you, call your shot here. How do you go out and win that money this weekend? And how do you keep this roll going, man? Because, at some point competition's probably going to catch up. That's kind of the nature of this, of the beast here. How do you keep the ball rolling here?
Well, like I say, we just do the same thing we do every week, and like I say, go out there, do the best we can, and try to get our cars a little bit better in practice, and qualify as good as we can, because we got to start at the back anyhow. So, like I say, if we do everything that we do and we do it right, and like I say, don't change a thing. If it works, don't change it. So, like I say, if we do the same thing again, hopefully it works. And like I said, it'll be good too to get some more cars down there. If they pull some out of Wisconsin and some from around the area, it'll be good for the track, good for the fans, good for everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. The more cars, the better. And hopefully when you throw a little bit of extra cash money in there, people are willing to come and make the trip. So that is always a good thing. In addition to the 3 wins, the late model class at this Grundy County Speedway, also ran the Joe Shear Classic up at Madison, finished 4th in the Midwest Tour opener up there. So kind of talk about that and how your weekend went up there.
Yeah, our Midwest Tour program's pretty good too. So we're going to Grundy on the weekly deal, but up there it's a little bit different. There's a lot of good cars, a lot of Fury cars, a lot of rowdy cars, or Hamke, whatever they call them now. But like I say, there's a lot of good drivers and cars and big motors and all that stuff. So like I say, for us, we went up there, we qualified second to Luke Fenhouse, and he's real good. So like I say, we ran good in the race. With about 50 laps in, we lost brakes, so we had to pit like 2 or 3 times and went to the back, and throughout the race just slowly picked up spots again and again and again. And by the end of it, we were running about top 5 or 6 and thought we had a shot at it. But like I say, we just ran out of time. We had a good car, just the timing wasn't right, and we ended up 4th. So the car was really good. Just like I say, I had some problems early and had to recover from it.
Sure. Just in right now.
Breaking news.
Yeah, Bounty is up to $1,750. So little extra money, and I'm going to predict this here. So you can call this a prediction. So when it happens, it'd be more of a spoiler. Yeah. I'm going to say that's probably going to get up to $2,000 by Friday. We're getting close. So I'm going to say that's probably going to be there. Not to put any pressure on anybody, Grundy County Speedway or their partners to make that happen. But I'm going to say we're going to be up to $2,000 by Friday. This trend, I'm going to say we're going to be there. A lot of improvements to the Grundy County Speedway in the off season. We kind of touched on it a little bit with the new pavement and everything going on there. Kind of talk about what you've seen, and then also with the new tire compound, just kind of what you've seen, what you felt, kind of what you anticipate for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so the tires, we've definitely run on them before in like the Midwest Tour, and I think we've run them at Grundy in the Midwest Tour and different things like that. So when going into it, the tires weren't going to be crazy different. I mean, different from what it's used to be, but still a real good tire to race on and a lot of fun. So that side of it's not too much different, but the pavement's really just, at least for me, restored the fun back to Grundy, where being on the D800s and the old pavement, you're kind of sliding around, can't really go anywhere. And, so like I say, everything that they're doing is awesome. Like I say, it makes the track, makes it look nicer, makes everything better. And like I say, it's better for the fans and better for the drivers. We just keep on racing.
Yeah, man. And then, you alluded to, how good the cars have been so far this season, man. Well, I know a lot of hard work's gone into your program there, getting the cars right, man. Talk about some of that work that's gone on behind the scenes to get things right for you so you can be on the streak that you're on.
Yeah, my crew chief, Chris Purdy, he does a really good job. Like I say, we've got 3 cars right now, and 2 of them are older Hamke cars that we've had for a while. And like I say, we just keep adjusting and trying to make them better every week. And tried a couple things in the off season, and it helped a little bit here and there. So like I say, it's just, they've gotten really good. So hopefully it translates to the Midwest Tour stuff and just keeps on going, because it's tenfold more fun when you run good. When you're struggling and the cars ain't good and you're not running good and up front, it really drains on you and takes the fun out of it. So I've seen both sides of it, and like I say, I've been racing a while. So being able to run up front and get wins and compete, and it's a lot of fun. It makes it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You talk about having fun. I kind of saw towards the end of last season, man, you were dipping your toe in the enduro world a little bit, looked like, right? So kind of talk about that side of things, man, and kind of putting a little enduro program together, kind of the end of the seasons kind of things.
Yeah, so we me and Chris, we were messing around with enduro cars. He found one on Facebook for like $1,500. So he went up to Wisconsin, bought it, and we got my dad in it, got him running one when I went up and watched, and he's running pretty good, really. He got up to 5th, I think, at M40, and he was like halfway in, and then got spun around, dumped, bounced her off the wall, broke a spindle, and now it's just sitting behind our shop. We got parts and trying to work on it, but you know how that goes. It runs out of time real quick. So,
yeah, that's the one thing
that was fun. And then we actually,
one thing they never make more of is time.
Yeah, that's for sure. So then we ended up building the car. We we messed around at the junkyards a lot. My dad just got a couple of them, and like I say, we had an 08 Ford Taurus come in, and I'm like on Google trying to figure out how much horsepower it's got. 265. That's awesome. We're taking that. And let me tell you, it was heavy, didn't turn, but it was fast from corner to corner. And then it got there, and that was the end of that.
So you're gonna be scrounging a junkyard for something a little lighter, a little better, huh?
Yeah, I already got one picked out. We got one of them ZX2, ZX4, something or another, Ford Focus, 6-shift. They said the subframe's rotted out, so we'll see if the motor falls out 20 laps in, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, better than it just sitting around in the yard, right?
Yep. Gives us some fun to do in the off season and the winter time, and like I say, in our free time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, free time. Yeah, I gotta love that one, man. Well, before we let you go, prep and get ready for the big racing events going on this weekend, man. As we like to do, kind of give you the forum to give us shout outs, thank any sponsors you got, and kind of give the credit where it's due, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like I say, my team makes it all happen. So Chris Purdy's my crew chief, Dave Billings, Mike and Kim Larson. They're at every race, no matter what. So like I say, without them, I couldn't do it. So like I say, they make that all happen. And then my dad on the other side of things, he pays for most of it, allows me to have fun on the weekends and do all that. So that's couldn't do it without them. And like I say, as far as sponsors, my dad's place, Paul's Auto Yard, and Padnos Metal Recycling, they're a part of it. Like I say, without them, I couldn't do it.
Yep, sponsors, the marketing and the people make it all go around. Well, Paul, we're going to let you go, man, but definitely want to wish you best of luck this weekend as you got the target on your back with the bounty, and definitely look forward to seeing what you can do.
Yep, thanks. We'll see what happens.
All right, have a good one.
Yep, see you guys.
And that was Paul Shafer Jr., your bounty man, the wanted man of Grundy County Speedway. It seems like every time I check the socials, man, that bounty's going up.
Yeah.
We just saw that it's up to $1,750 now. It would not surprise me that thing climbs the rest of the week, man. And then I think it's a cool story also for Grundy County Speedway. Kind of gets that energy going about the races Friday night.
Right.
Hopefully, you're going to draw, like Paul said, draw some more cars down. Maybe draw some more fans to the stands. That's the kind of energy we need.
Well, so yeah, I was actually thinking about that. I know we're down a few late models because of the wreck. Was it 2 weeks ago now? That took out some pretty decent cars. I haven't seen anything like that since, back at Illiana, whatever year that was, when the whole field stacked up coming out of the
front stretch. Yeah.
But at the same time, our buddy Stan Kalazinski posted something today. Since we're on the topic of winning streaks, Paulie's in some pretty elite company. We got Ed Hoffman, Tom Musgrave, Larry Schuler, all winning streaks at Grundy. So that's a good class of driver to be in.
Yeah. Anytime you can be in a class with them is definitely a pretty rarefied air on the local side of things. Matt also pointing out mini cups. I did see that on the schedule. I got a big race, big money this week at the Grundy County Speedway. I think I say it every time. Those cars, I enjoy those. Those and like the 600, the 600 sprints out at Plymouth. Those are probably my two favorite classes, just because obviously small cars, but a lot of hard racing action between those two divisions, man. Definitely looking forward to seeing what's going on there. Big weekends of racing. I mean, this is May. Right? May here in Indiana. So, I mean, it's a racing month.
I mean, that's what happens here.
Yeah, that's what we do in May is we race here in Indiana, and of course, right next door over in Illinois. So, looking forward to everything that's going on out there this week. And like Tony said, man, whatever track you want to go to, dirt, asphalt, Grundy, Plymouth, South Bend, Shady Hill, Hartford, wherever you want to go, just get there, support these local tracks. Everybody on the business side of things was hurting last year. So yeah, anything we can do to make up for that this year is great. And that's why I think, the whole bounty thing, yeah, you see one guy going out there and winning, but he's not like he's like leading every lap and stinking up the show. He's done it in pretty dramatic fashion.
He's had to work for everything he's got.
Yeah, exactly.
So the last lap pass on Larry Schuler, Larry led the entire race. It took Paul all 30 laps to chase him down.
Yeah, exactly. And he only led the last half a lap of that one. So like you said, he's worked for it. He's earned it. He hasn't gone out and stunk up the show. So that's always great. Let's see what else we got going on. Mr. Straka here, the Mars Super Late Model Shady Hill on Saturday. So super lates on dirt, man. Those things rip.
Oh God,
on dirt, and no matter what track they run, those things just rip around there. So if the dirt is your thing and you want to see some super late model racing action there, head to the Shady Hill Speedway. Matt chiming in. Always fight the R word for the month of May. Yes, it never fails. Kind of in this area, Mother Nature doesn't want to relinquish hold of us until about June or July, as far as the R word. So yeah, hopefully it'll be nice to hopefully the weather holds out this weekend. Last I looked, everything was looking pretty good, and even though Saturday wasn't so great, I know we're still able to get some racing action in this past weekend. So and we've been able to get some racing in the last few weeks prior to that. So we have been a little lucky on that front, even though temperature maybe not in exactly where we'd like it to be, but it is what it is. We won't be picky. Dry is better than nothing. So
absolutely. I'd rather be at a track and dry than God. The worst feeling is getting there and unloading and getting all ready to go, and then starts raining and you go home.
Yeah, Kimberly Club here. Chris knows a group of competitors there. He isn't winning easily. He's with high level competition. Absolutely. There's
right. And on that, every time he's out there, he's setting fast times. So he's always either behind the invert or is the invert. So he's not like running away from the front row.
And he mentioned being able to use the outside. Looks like every week he's starting on the outside too. So, that's definitely one thing I noticed in the videos replays, that just he's able to roll that outside and get rolling and make some ground. And like said, he's not, it's not like he's racing scrubs out there, man. You got a lot of high level competition in late model class out there at the Grundy County Speedway, even with the smaller field this past weekend, because like you said, wreck a couple weeks ago. Still hard competition. And I know once everybody gets their cars repaired, I know the S4 guys, they're going to be out here within the next couple of weeks running out there. So I only anticipate the car count getting better or recovering, and it's going to make it definitely harder. And at some point Eddie Hoffman's going to get his stuff kind of figured out. There's
he seemed to figure out the DA100s the fastest. Now we're switching the setup around again. I mean, he's no slouch. He's there. It's just I feel like with the switching the tires back, we got back some of the big names that hadn't been there the last couple seasons. So
yep, that's what it looked like, and definitely hopefully you can attract some of the Midwest Tour guys ahead of the Grundy race they'll be running.
With the dollar amount they're putting on Paul's head.
Yeah, exactly. And, even, later in the season towards the Bentonhausen, with that tire, same tire the Midwest Tour's running, kind of opens up a little bit of that cross promotion that you kind of hope to see.
It's one of the things that we always harp on. So I'm just going to briefly soapbox, but that's what I like to see is cars that can take their car and run different tracks with it. The Argo series that kind of launched us into this indirectly, that was the thing, is you raced your series rules. So the car, if they can run the Midwest Tour and Grundy and still be legal, that's wonderful.
Yep, absolutely. Looking here at the notes, looks like I'm getting petitioned to go to the Hill this weekend, so we'll see how that works out.
Well, you'll join me there. Somebody in the family decided that they were off to a wedding, so I got to fill in at the Hill. So let's go dirt racing.
Somebody that's hiding behind your curtain back there, or what? Let's see. Opening night Friday at K3. So, yes. So head out that way. Some more dirt racing action. Yep. Friday before the Midwest Tour should be decent. Some teams may run both nights. We can only hope.
Yep. And I always loved when a touring series came through Illiana and you saw some of the guys that had a free week stop by before to set the car up.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to, see like a Majeski or, Campbell or, some of those guys that come down and run. Seeing we should have 3 new late models on Friday. So add that in to what we've got to maybe guys repairing cars and whatnot. So I can anticipate the car count's going to be pretty good, especially for that added money.
And, I never like to talk about cars not being there, but I miss Dan Odell.
Oh man, let's see what else we got. K3M Falls, Fairbury, yep, this weekend. Both should be good shows. There's so much racing around here. We talk about Illiana being closed and some of the tracks that are closing, but man, look on the other side of things. So many other tracks around here. Within hour 45 minutes are here. Not too bad. Just plenty of racing action. So there's plenty out there to see. That is for sure. Man, I'd say this is a pretty solid green flag episode, man.
Yep. We got getting a check in from the new resident of the South Bend Motor Speedway via Ricky Klein. Tell you what,
has he got his own social media people now, or what?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. That thing is almost as much fun to watch as the racing.
We gave Tony a hard time about going to Hollywood,
Well, it's this is going to sound mean, but it's not really. So the first night at South Bend, we were there, and the Osprey up in the turn 1 and 2 light tower was having dinner, and Kim Kemperman always tends to go to that side of the racetrack. So she's standing there under the light pole, and all of a sudden something hits her in the shoulder, and she can't figure out what it is. Well, one of the Ospreys occupying that nest up there apparently lost control of its dinner. She got hit with a fishtail.
Of all the, I can't even, man. Oh, geez. I feel like we should now just, replace our logo up here in the corner with one of those, just kind of checking in a nest, It'll be kind of a running inside joke, but man, with the fishtail, man.
Yeah. Gosh. Just kind of looking at me and Ricky and Jay, we've all kind of got some interesting pictures of that thing. It's, the first week or two, it was pretty timid and, didn't venture out too much, but the longer we've been going there, the closer it's been getting.
I feel that's totally one of those things, like when you think you've seen it all and everything at a racetrack, then you see something like that and then it, drops its dinner on you.
Yep.
Yeah, good times. Well, Chris, it's definitely good getting back in the swing of things. Like we said, the show for 2021, we're going to go monthly now. We were doing every 2 weeks. Last week we did every week, and man, that's just a lot to bite off, a lot to chew on there and do. So we're going to go to monthly shows. We're going to give you shows like this, man. Highlighting the big events, bringing in the players, like we had with Paul Shafer Jr. and then Tony Eldridge tonight, bringing the players, talk about the big events, just have fun, talk to you guys about everything that's going on in local racing. So love the interaction with you guys tonight. So definitely want to keep this up on the next episode. Before we go, Good Acre Photography, I want to give a shout out to them, obviously, because he's here. Everything they're doing there. I know you're posting pictures like crazy and getting things going, right?
Yeah, I think I did about 3,500 pictures just from this weekend alone. So, and then I was having some software issue. The plugin I've got for my editing software wasn't you this time. No, the plugin I've got for my editing software that uploads the pictures to the website pretty much while I sleep. It doesn't require any supervision. This week it needed supervision. It wasn't working. So I talked to IT there, and they said they've got it figured out. They sent out a patch, and for the most part, it worked. There were a couple little hiccups upgrading to the new version. So I think I've got everything working again now. Everything should be posting like it normally does. There's just a lot of pictures.
Well, earlier in the season, everybody's got new cars and a
Oh,
lot of new
God, yeah.
new things going on, and a lot of the new cars. I mean, you're designing a handful of them out there, right? With
Yeah,
Good Acre
yeah, that's
Designs.
a
So
kind of a not new but newer branch where oh God, Stan's giving advice. That's scary. Yeah, a newer branch of the company going into designing stuff. My day job is I'm a graphic artist for a local T-shirt company, so kind of bringing some of that work home. Melissa Keys with Left Turn Graphics has kind of offloaded some of her backup work to me, and that kind of churned into me designing stuff on iRacing. I've got, I think, 50 local retro super late models on iRacing. If you're on iRacing and you want to race something from the 80s, I've got most of the cars. I know our buddy Mike McClure is yelling at me for not leaving him any to paint.
no, he's too busy getting that 4-cylinder ready to go.
Yeah, hey, he got it out on the track and he made laps.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, man.
Exactly.
New car, got to shake it down.
Right, and I'm more than happy for him. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him do good. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Rolled into designing race cars and designing mini wedges. I think I've got a good solid chunk of the mini wedge class either has a car I designed or a logo I designed on it. And Pontiacs now. Matt, we'll get there.
Well, in that picture he's got
steps.
Yeah, in that picture he's got as his profile picture, it looks like he could use some design numbers there.
I walked up there in Victory Lane and I told him, I really don't want to take this picture. You need numbers on this car.
Well, perfect.
It's getting scored as the Z4s.
Matt, hit Good Acre Designs up, man. He'll get you some numbers on that thing. And then, we got autograph nights and stuff coming up. And, somebody can get you some hero cards here.
My brother was actually over earlier. If he's not still here, he's putting together a couple cards that we've taken already.
So lots going on there, and
getting busy over here.
Yeah, so goodacrephotography.com, Good Acre Photography on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram. Reach out there.
GoodAcreDesign.com coming soon. I've got the URL. Still working on the website in between editing pictures, so going kind of slow.
Yep. So got that going on right there. And you mentioned Mike McClure. We shouted out to him. Also want to shout out the hydration specialist here for the Illiana Stock Car Radio, Mr. Moorhead. Jason got engaged earlier this week.
He was busy this past weekend.
Yeah. So congratulations go out to them, and much happiness in their future there. So that being said, everybody, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this month's episode, the May episode of Illiana Stock Car Radio. If you're watching us, I assume you're probably doing it. Looks like everybody's checking in on Facebook. I have seen a couple YouTube check-ins. So dual live streaming here on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're on our Facebook page and you haven't liked it, haven't followed, haven't subscribed, or done any of that, please go ahead and do so. That way you can get updated on all of our latest updates, news, information about shows, guests. We'll share upcoming events that are from our local tracks. Also on Instagram, when we remember to post over there in that land.
You sound like me.
I know. And then also contemplating, bringing back the audio episodes. Kind of found some new programming where I can just take it right out of our streaming platform here and pop it in there. So if you have people, friends, family, whatever, that maybe don't have a Facebook and don't want to, learn YouTube or any of that stuff, and you just want to get the audio episodes.
Like Casey Martin, you just want to listen to us babble.
Yeah. If you don't have time to sit here and watch the video, but you want to listen to the audio while you work, while you do stuff. So that information will be coming soon. So make sure to check our Facebook page for all of that. So that being said, want to thank once again our guests, Tony Eldridge and Paul Shafer Jr., and steal some words from Mr. Tony Eldridge. Make sure to get your backside, trackside this weekend, wherever you go. And on behalf of Chris Goodacre and myself, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys on the other side.